Aloha to Lofa and welcome back. We are again going to talk about the Democratic Party. A lot of my channel is telling me, oh, the Democrats are the way to do it, the way to do it. I'm telling you they're not. They don't want us, and here's a little bit more proof. We got Krystal and I think her name is Emily, I forget her last name, she's going to say, I'm pretty sure. But they're going to tell us how the Democrats are pretty much screwing us over, but you know what? You're still going to need to vote blue no matter who.
All right, well, shall we turn to the Democrats and what's going on with them? So you guys will probably remember there was a significant race for a leadership fight in the House between AOC, who wanted to be ranking member on the Oversight Committee, which basically it's a very public-facing role. It was a good fit for her because she understands the media, she's feisty, she does well in these committee hearings, etc. So she would be in this prominent forward-facing role in the Democratic Party.
But they don't like her policies. They don't like what she at least says she wants to do.
Nancy Pelosi intervened and instead got her man, Jerry Connolly, to across the finish line to be ranking member of this committee. Now, it was known at the time that Jerry Connolly he's in his 70s, and he also is suffering from cancer. And apparently that, the cancer prognosis has just recently gotten worse. So he is now saying he's stepping away from that role as ranking member of oversight that he had just won over AOC. Let's put this up on the screen. This is his official statement. Jerry Connolly, by the way, I've met him before a number of times. He represents a Northern Virginia suburban, like Fairfax County district in Virginia, and has for a while. He used to be the head of the Board of Supervisors in Fairfax County, so a long-time public official. Anyway, he says, "Dear friends, I want to begin by thanking you for your good wishes and compassion as I continue to tackle my diagnosis. Your outpouring of love and support has given me strength in my fights, both against cancer and our collective defense of democracy. When I announced my diagnosis 6 months ago, I promised transparency. After grueling treatments, we've learned the cancer, which was initially beaten back, has now returned. I'll do everything possible to continue to represent you, and thank you for your grace. The sun is setting on my time in public service. This will be my last term in Congress. I will be stepping back as ranking member of the Oversight Committee soon. With no rancor and a full heart, I'm moving to this final chapter full of pride in what we've accomplished together over 30 years. My loving family and staff sustain me. My extended family, you all have been a joy to serve, your friend and public servant." And, And
so why would somebody with this type of cancer, this old, run against AOC, knowing that they're not going to finish? I guess he might finish his term, but knowing that this is his last term, he's not going to do long-lasting things with this oversight committee position. The only reason he did that and Nancy Pelosi wanted him in there was to block AOC. She's supposed to be kind of left or whatever. So the Democrats do not want our politics. If you want the politics of the people, you need to come to the Green Party. That is really the only sane thing to do.
Don't want to be an asshole here. I met Jerry Connolly, interpersonally, very nice person. But
like Joe Biden was my friend, like Bernie kept saying, they're all in the same club. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat, Republican. Krystal Ball's worth like $30 or $50 million or something like that. They're all in the same club, and we ain't in it.
If you truly believe yourself to be, which I do, in this existential threat for the future of the country and democracy.
No, you don't. She's lying, just like Kyle Kalinske. You know Trump is not that different than anybody else. You guys have been in politics for so long, and you know so much, and you wanna act like, oh, we're fascists now. When Joe Biden stated he don't care about why society is bad and why it takes you down the wrong path, he didn't talk about fixing none of it. He just said we're gonna put him in jail. Hillary Clinton just called us super predators. Barack Obama didn't do nothing. He fined us for health care. Joe Biden or Kamala Harris putting people in jail because their kids are sick. They don't care anymore about us. They just do it in a different way, and they try to talk nicer sometimes, but I mean, I don't think it sounds any nicer.
You need to...
The democracy. So if you see my Jones Plantation video, what kind of democracy do we have? We have the choice out of two evils. That's not a true, actual democracy.
But if you truly believe yourself to be, which I do, in this existential threat for the future of the country and democracy, you need to put your most effective players forward. And it was always very clear
Our most effective players, we need to fill our most effective party. If you want a party that is going to be effective for the people, we need to fill that party with people. The corporations fill the Democratic and the Republican Party just fine. They don't need you. They will have enough money to run with or without you. Go ahead and fill the party that is going to be for you. And even if you say you want to be a pragmatic green or something like that, let's show them. Everybody leave the Democratic Party as much as you can. Go to the Green Party. Run in the Green Party. Vote for Green Party people when it's the scary parts and when it's somebody who, oh my God, we got to vote blue no matter who for this one position. Okay, go ahead, vote Democrat. But let's go ahead and vote for as many Green Party people as we can up and down the ballot if you want to see a change. If you just keep voting for the Democrats, they know they got you. They know they don't have to change because they're doing what they're doing and you're still going to vote for them.
That would not be Jerry Connolly at 70 years old and battling cancer. It would be someone like AOC, who is leading the fight and is out there, touring the country alongside Bernie Sanders and garnering record-breaking crowds and understands new media.
And then she's leading the fight to take all these record-breaking crowds into a party that doesn't care about what they want. All they want is their votes, the people's votes. They don't want the people's will. They're not going to do universal health care. They're not going to raise our wages. They're not going to end the wars. They're not going to build food forests or add permaculture. They're not going to build the infrastructure. They're not going to do anything.
Etc. And so here we are 4 months into the Trump administration, and he's already having to step back, Emily, from this role whatsoever. In terms of who's going to be the replacement, it's not going to be AOC. She is no longer actually on this committee. She, I guess, got switched or moved committees or whatever. Could put Ken Klippenstein, who's been all over this from the very beginning, put the
to say the
some
least,
information.
to say the very least about Ken's coverage of Jerry
I tried
Connolly.
to book Ken for us today, but he's like traveling right now and it's just like killing him because he's been all over this from the beginning. But anyway, put this next piece up on the screen. This is who looks to be set to replace him. Another 70-year-old, Representative Stephen Lynch.
The Democrats representing you, the people.
This is who looks to be set to replace him. Another 70-year-old. Representative Stephen Lynch. Ken goes on to say his background is colorful. Lynch was apparently arrested at some point for drunkenly attacking a group of Iranian students protesting U.S. intervention abroad. There are some other members on this committee who could have been interesting. Ro Khanna is on this committee. Jasmine Crockett is also on this committee.
When you try to get Ro to the Green Party.
So you don't have to go with another 70-year-old, but yet here they are, just like, this is the guy who's next in line, seniority or leadership can rely on that.
See, the Democrats are next in line. Trump went in, the Republicans, you can go in there. They did the Tea Party before Trump, right? They go in the Republican Party and the people vote and the Republican Party listens to their people, whether you like what happens or not, whether you agree with it or not. The right actually lets their people vote and control their party, the far right. The liberals, they're the controlled opposition. They keep the center, the centrist, the moderate right, and anybody who's moderately left kind of satiated, right? They keep them okay, that they think they have something to do, and keep them, giving them little bones, little whatever from the table. But the actual left is not represented. These people they're doing the same stuff. It's crazy that I have people on this channel talking about like, and please stay on this channel, keep watching, keep listening, let's see if we can change some minds. But like, you're telling me that we have to do it through the Democratic Party. They do not care about us. They are next in line, next in line, next in line. I'm telling you right now, the Green Party, it is actually a little bit older, but we want people to come in. We want youth to come in. Like I've said before, one of the first things they said at the very first meeting that I went to is that they want to have a youth takeover. We want young people to come in, and all people too. If you're old, young, whatever, if you're a community-based person, if you want universal health care, all the stuff I rattled off before, then yeah, you should be in the Green Party. The Democrats are not going to do that for you. And they show you and they tell you who they are all the time. Please try to start listening. And just give the Green Party a chance for a couple of years, see what happens. But really, it takes what? Actually, it really only takes a movement, and we've seen the movement. So let's just make the movement and put it in the right place, because the Democrats will just keep doing what they're doing.
Or whatever. And it's absolutely incredible. I mean, Democrats have had multiple members die in office this session, which have led Republicans to, expand their margins by a little bit.
And so that's also the dog and pony show, right? That shows either a lack of strategy or a strategy to help the country move further right. Like, Democrats are right wing. They would prefer the country be further right, most of them. And I'm not talking about the people who vote for them. I'm talking about the people who are running the party, the people who are elected to office and all that. They want right wing stuff. So they let people die in office.
And that little bit can make...
They let judges die, and they don't codify things so that the right can do, or the further right can pull us further right and make everything go further right. They call it the ratchet effect.
Session, which have led Republicans to, expand their margins by a little bit. And that little bit can make all the difference in terms of, getting close legislation through the House.
I'm sorry, but
so then they're going to tell you vote blue no matter who, when the Green Party would not do this. The Green Party, if we had an old person in office and could switch him out, we would do that. Like, whatever the best way to do it is, we would do it. We wouldn't just be like, oh, well, this is the way we want it, and then we're going to let this person die, and then the Republicans get the seat or whatever.
And make all the difference in terms of, getting close legislation through the House.
I'm sorry, but there's no committee that Democrats should have wanted a very aware and healthy person on more than oversight for the first 100 days of the second Trump administration. I am furious on behalf of Democratic voters, just thinking back on how insane it was. This is a concession that everyone who was concerned about Connolly getting this position was correct. This is him basically throwing in the towel and saying, I'm not up to the job. Well, if you had had the humility, and your supporters had the humility to say that 100 days ago, the Oversight Committee could have been much more robustly, energetically pushing back on.
There you go. So if you're mad at the things that Trump's doing, the Democratic Party put a weaker person in on the Oversight Committee that didn't have the time, strength, and ability to push back on Trump, where they could have had AOC, who's doing this oligarchy tour, right? She has the time, obviously, and the energy to be pushing back on Trump. Since she's not doing that, she's running the oligarchy tour with Bernie Sanders. So, yeah, the Democratic Party, even the kind of left-wing people, they don't let them have any power. They let you into the party to bring people in to get votes only. It's not about changing policies or enacting policies that people want.
On the Trump administration, it is just completely, it's all of this is obvious what we're saying right now, but it is such a just obnoxious example of how wrong the old guard is, and how stubborn the old guard is, and how stuck in their ways the old guard.
And then all these liberals, this Emily here is a right-winger. So she's probably not going to tell you to vote blue no matter who. I'm sure she'll tell you to vote for the Republicans most of the time. But, probably think pragmatically. But you got Krystal Ball over here. She's going to tell you to think pragmatically and only vote blue no matter who. That's the only pragmatic thought. When they're sitting here telling you that the Democrats don't care about you, either don't know what they're doing or don't care about you, one of the two, I don't see how it's so hard for people to understand this. They show you, and if it's going to take you, say, I'm 20 or I'm in my early 30s and I want to wait 8, 12, 16 years and try this Democratic stuff and see if it works, please just go back in history and look at things and just look at the Democratic Party and what they've done since they've been a party. They go back to Obama, but you can go back much, much further and see that they've never really done anything. FDR was the one person that everybody wants to talk about, and he was his hand was forced, and he told the capitalists that if you want to keep your capitalism and keep your power, you need to give up a little bit right now, because the people are mad, and you can give up a little bit for a while, and then you can get it back later. But you can't keep it all right now. The people are going to revolt, and you're really going to have a socialist or communist society where the people are taken care of, and the businesses, are going to be taxed a bit, and the rich people might not be as rich, but everybody else will be richer. Like we have a society where we say the level of our society is based on one person. Whatever one person we can get up to the very top and show that represents all of us in America, right? Like we got Elon Musk there, and he's not even from America. But then maybe Bill Gates is our guy, if you want to call that, or whatever. But we look at our top percent just a little bit and say that they represent us and that we're the best country in the world, rather than saying that our poorest person doesn't live on the streets. Our poorest person gets to eat, gets to have a family, gets to drive a car, make decisions, gets to live a decent to good life. Our poorest, like if we averaged our money out a bit, it doesn't have to be totally the same, right? There can still be rich people, there can still be bigger houses and faster cars. But if our poorest person got to live a good life, how would you judge that society? Would it be better than a society where you let a lot of people go homeless, a lot of people go hungry, a lot of kids have schools that are no good, and some kids have really good schools, but then you have like 1% of the people are super duper rich and have boats that they can park on their boats and stuff, and houses that are just, you can't even find every room in. What's a measure of society? Because like society to me is the more people the better, or the better for more people the better, rather than having just a few have the most.
Guard is, and just how not up to the moment they are. It's just the sort of arrogance of the political class, just being, I think, to some extent here, put on full display. And again, predictable and obvious, but the oversight committee is doing exactly what it says. Like they have powers to call witnesses. Like when Republicans were in the minority recently under Biden, the oversight committee is where they felt they were doing their most important work. And it's because you can then call hearings and do Hunter Biden and Benghazi and all of those things come out of oversight. It's very powerful if you use it correctly.
Yeah, and I remember when he won this or was going for this position.
If you use it correctly, the Democrats either don't know how to do things correctly, like you saw Hakeem Jeffries being all weak and stuff, or they don't want to do things correctly, right? So they either don't know what they're doing or they're doing it on purpose. So either one should be unacceptable, I would think.
I remember when he won this or was going for this position at the time, wish I could remember the exact language that he used, but he said something like I've waited a long time for this. It was very like, I did my time, I'm next in line, so I'm getting this seat. And Nancy Pelosi made sure that he had the votes.
That's what's up. When it's your turn, it is your turn. Let's back that. Let's go to the turn takers. And right now, thankfully, everybody is living longer. And so a lot of people's turns won't ever get taken. Like we're going to have people, they're just going to be always the old people, right? Because the young people, it won't be their turn ever. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to be young, but I mean, we should have representation of more people. I know that kind of sounds bad at times. I don't like representation, but hey, I like representation a lot. Some people don't, but representation.
To be able to, and again, like we all knew this was the reality. They knew this was the reality. This was utterly predictable.
They, as in the Democrats, they knew the reality and they gave this to us. So that to me is them not being stupid. It's them actually wanting to keep it on the right. So they're not just making accidental bad decisions. They're making concentrated or focused bad decisions, or not bad decisions to them. It's right decisions, but it's decisions against people, decisions for corporations.
So not only was it really, self-serving for Jerry Connolly even to put himself up for this position, it was extraordinarily, extraordinarily short-sighted and weak move from
self-serving, short-sighted, and weak move. But we need to vote blue, no matter who.
Democratic leadership to push him for this spot, and just speaks to a lack of seriousness and a lack of meeting the moment that has been characteristic across the board from the official Democratic leadership. And boy, do I have another.
So with that to say, she is at some point in this video, and if not this video, in another video, going to tell you to vote blue no matter who. Guarantee it.
another example of that. Senator Schumer, who of course, capitulated to the Republicans. The
Who,
one
of
thing
course,
that
Trump gave him his first, what do you call it, donation ever. At least that's what Trump said, and Schumer was sitting right there and didn't deny it.
I have another example of that. Senator Schumer, who of course, capitulated to the Republicans. The one thing that where Democrats in the Senate really had some leverage, he completely, hands Republicans major victory there. Well, now he's on CNN saying that don't
still vote blue no matter who.
Worry. He's in the fight. He has sent the Trump administration a strongly worded letter,
Nice.
Emily. So he will await their response. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Letters.
Stop using ChatGPT like everyone else. And
Chucky Boy about to break it down.
Take a listen to what he had to say.
But it's also going to hurt the kind of medical research and other kinds of great research that is done at Harvard and other universities. So we sent him a very strong letter just the other day, asking.
How many hours did that letter work out before you sent it?
8 very strong questions about why this isn't just a pretext.
Strong questions,
Well,
too.
you'll let us
8.
know if you get a response to that letter. I do want to.
I
So
love how
not
she,
7. Not 7
8.
strongly worded questions. 8 strongly worded questions.
Very
not
strong.
6.
Very strong question.
But this is the only serious party that you can vote for. They're going to sit here and make fun of the Democrats like this. Understanding, she even said they were unserious. I ain't even playing that. She even said they were unserious, right? So, how can you guys sit here telling me that I'm not serious or that the Green Party's not serious when we are serious? We just need support. And supporting us is actually supporting you. The Democratic Party is a lie. They are not serious in the way of what they say to you, what they promote themselves to be. They're not serious about that. They are serious about being politicians. They are serious about chocolate ice cream and making lots of money. They are serious about keeping the United States to the right of center and as far to the right of center as possible. And actually not letting people understand what that even means. But let's
And I love how Dana's like, okay, you let me know when they get back to you on that one. Sure, buddy. Like, it's just, you can't make it up. It's so pathetic. It is so utterly pathetic.
Oh my goodness.
It's insane that he was on live television and thought that was a good thing to say. Like, are you listening to yourself? You know that you were stepping straight into a...
This is the party you have to vote for, though. You must, because the Green Party is just so not... You just can't with the Green Party. Why not go to the party that has your politics? I don't understand this. I do not understand this. Keep voting for the Democratic Party. We're going to get another crime bill at some point. We're going to get another health care bill at some point that sucks. Crime bill sucked. We're going to get the infrastructure bill that Joe Biden passed that sucked. If you would have got the Green Party in, like obviously, whatever. But if the Green Party was winning or was in office, we wouldn't have watered down the infrastructure bill. There would have been a lot of climate change stuff. There would have been a lot of fast change from say gas vehicles to electric vehicles. Or have any of you ever seen the solar freaking roads? Like, we could have some of those probably, but like we could do real stuff if we were in office. But we're gonna have Democrats in office, and they're gonna do half measures and measures that can be broken. They're not gonna codify anything, and they're not gonna do the big things that we really want. And when they do a big thing like the infrastructure bill, it's gonna be as watered down as possible, because you got Kristen Sinema and what's the guy out of Kentucky? Joe Manchin. Is it Kentucky? I think he's out of Kentucky.
Joke, buddy. This is the minority leader. This is the head of Senate Democrats for how...
But still, I don't want to call out Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin as being too much different of Democrats. They're just more boisterous and boisterous. Like, the regular Democrats, they ain't doing too much to help us out. They really ain't doing nothing to help us out.
Are you listening to yourself? You know that you were stepping straight into a joke, buddy. This is the minority leader. This is the head of Senate Democrats for how many years? And he can't even get through an interview without saying something as stupid as that. I mean, it's... Come on, man.
I miss Harry Reid. That's what I got to say about that. I miss Harry Reid.
Harry Reid would never.
He would never. No, he would never. Meanwhile, you've got, they're just the leadership, they are just thrashing around, trying to figure out where to be, what to say. They've recognized at this point that the base wants them to do more. So,
Oh, man.
their response is things like Senator Schumer sending 8 strong questions.
No leadership. Flopping around. The base wants them to do more. What more do we need to hear, to know, to understand? What more? That the Democratic Party is not ready. They're not right for us if you're a human being. It doesn't matter if you're right or left wing. The Democratic Party isn't right for you. Neither really is the Republican Party. But I mean, you see what is happening. I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know. But if you check my channel out enough, you'll see what's happening around the world and stuff. It's not good. We supply enough food for ourselves. We throw away enough food that we can feed the entire world. We produce, not just us, but even China. China now produces enough everything for the entire world. And Trump's like, oh, well, let's produce more stuff. If there is enough for the world, why are we producing more? Why does other people need to produce? Now we need to just organize things. We need the political will to say, oh, we have enough everything and we can just organize it and see what people want. Like, we should be voting like online, just clicking stuff saying, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then the stores would be able to stock up what they need in their area and whatnot. Oh, I shop at this store the most. I run by this store sometimes, right? You just put that information in the computer and stuff. Amazon already does it for you. They bring you food all the time. Like, it depends on how automated and how communist you want to get. But the capitalists do this automation stuff in a way that they make money and kill jobs. A left-wing socialist communist would do it in a way that society benefits. That if we lose our jobs and we take out all the trucker jobs, now we have more coaches. Now we have more people to work in the in nature, like say planting trees or working with trees, collecting fruit and moving it around, or working on houses, doing some plumbing, like keeping our houses really, really up to date rather than doing stuff every 5 or 10 years, having somebody that comes to the house every couple months maybe that looks at the house and makes sure it's in tip-top shape. And you start to find like a big thing that might happen that would take a few years to I don't know a lot about construction, but like take a few years to burst a pipe or the ceiling or a wall here, and somebody that would come and check every couple months. Oh, I see this damage here, and we just fix it because we're a society that just does stuff. It's just weird that we can produce enough, and not even just enough. We overproduce so much that we could all have abundance. Like, we could all eat and be fat if we really wanted to be, which I don't want to be fat, but like, we could all do a lot of almost everything we wanted. Maybe not everybody could live like a Donald Trump, but we could all live, I'm pretty sure, better than I do, and I live decent. I eat and I play and I do stuff. I live in Hawaii, so we couldn't all live in Hawaii, I don't think, but we could all live in good places and happy places. Like, some people love the snow. I hate the snow, so a lot of people would go to the snow on choice. And see, that's another thing, right? People like different things. Not everybody is gonna want the same thing. I would never go to the snow again if I don't have to. I hate it. I didn't like it growing up in it, but I didn't have mountains where I could ski, so I don't want to see the snow. Some people love the snow and hate the heat. Like, I knew this man. He was a little bit hefty, and when he'd come to Hawaii, he'd sweat a lot and say he didn't like coming here in the summertime. He would only come here in the wintertime. Okay, it's cool, right? But I mean, everybody has different likes. Back to the main point.
In a strongly worded letter, and then Hakeem Jeffries and Cory Booker did some sort of a live stream hangout on the Capitol steps, which everything, it's just it's just a little off. I will say that the Cory Booker speech, it really didn't do it for me, because of a variety of, it wasn't really about anything, and it felt to me very performative, although impressive. Like, listen, to hold your bladder that long is extraordinary, if in fact that's true. Just to speak for that long, I can't even imagine. But I'd have to say, liberals ate that shit up. They loved it.
25 hours of nothingness. He didn't do anything. And now she's going to talk about the liberals ate that up. Like, she's not a liberal. This is Queen Liberal here. She is the one keeping people in the Democratic Party. I find it really odd when liberals talk about other liberals like they're different and that they're being bamboozled. When you're the bamboozling liberal, you are the liberal bamboozling all these liberals that you're about to talk about. It's so weird.
They absolutely absolutely loved it. They see him as a hero. And that shows you, like, the bar is not that high. They just want people to do something, even if that something is just like standing and talking for a while.
Right, because
it's so goofy. Her Majority Report, Humanist Report, what's that? The Rational National, Kyle Kalinske, all these people were talking about, at least, what's his name? Hakeem Jeffries, he stood up and he was doing his 25 hours, and all these symbolic nothingnesses that the Democrats have done, some have done, AOC and them doing this oligarchy tour that's just going to bring people to the right-wing Democratic Party that's not going to do anything positive for the left or the people of America or the world. And she's going to be like, oh, these liberals. You are the one. You are the exact one Malcolm X was talking about. You, Kyle, Humanist Report, all of you that act like the Republicans are so much different and you have to vote for the Jones plantation other brother, Mr. Jones or Mr. Johnson. You guys are on the Mr. Johnson. He is no better for anybody other than you rich people. It doesn't help us out. And you rich people, I understand that you don't care about other people a lot of time, but you act like you do. And you inform people who do care about people and who are left wing, and you're taking them to a right wing party who cares about corporations more than people. And to me, that's kind of messed up. And a lot of you people on my channel that are telling me, oh, Kyle's right, this and that, and she's right, this and that, you got to do the Democratic thing. Listen, man, they are telling you who they are. Please open your ears and listen. They don't care. They're either stupid. The feckless was the word. Oh, they're feckless and they're either feckless and stupid, or they are doing this deliberately and giving power to the Republicans on purpose.
That's a great point, because that filibuster didn't have any legislative goal. Like, literally, they just were lapping up Cory Booker, demonstrating how, like, passionately he was anti-Trump and anti this administration. And it was actually smart, because he was like live on TikTok and breaking records. And it as I think vapid as it was, it just rallied.
It was smart, yet it was vapid. You see how these people are lying to you? They're trying to make the Democratic Party more than what it is. It's not for you. It's not good. It's vapid, as she said.
Like the troops, because people are desperate.
Yeah, that's right. But
because people are desperate, they can sell you the Democratic Party while the Democratic Party is just pooping on you. Like we got poop soup or a poop sandwich. Which one do you want?
In any case, Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker do this hangout live stream thing on the Capitol steps. Let me give you just a little taste of this, Emily. Just a little taste.
And I want you all to know I miss Obama.
Let's check out Cori Bush being epic.
I miss Obama.
I don't.
I miss Obama. I miss Obama, and I miss her husband too.
Will be pushing back against the Republican efforts to jam this far-right extreme budget down the throats of the American people. And we wanted to make sure that heading into that fight, we were very clear with our Republican colleagues. There will not be a single Democratic vote to take away the health care of the American people. Not a single.
Don't worry, Emily. The spirit of...
But a lot of American people don't have health care. We used to get fined for not having health care. Trump took that fine away in his first term. But the Democrats could have given us health care and codified it into law, but they didn't. They could have made it an amendment, probably. They had a supermajority, and why wouldn't you want to make healthcare an amendment to the Constitution?
Barack Obama is alive and well in the fake-ass speech cadence of people like Pete Buttigieg and Cory Booker, so never fear. It's just...
She can talk all this stuff about all the Democrats and understand who the Democrats are and still tell you to vote for them. That should tell you something. Like, I mean, I understand some of you guys are scared, but really, man, like, it's getting to be... Look up the Dunning-Kruger effect. And in fact, I'll try to do a video on that in the next day or two. I'll try to do that today if I can. But look up the Dunning-Kruger effect. And wow, it's crazy. Or what's the other one? Or Stockholm Syndrome. Like, there is no reason for us to be anyone, to be a Democrat or a Republican, really. But America definitely has Stockholm syndrome.
Just feels so try hard. You know,
Yes,
it
it
just
does.
feels very like, we're going to be cool. We're going to do a thing. Here we are doing a thing. I don't know. It just lands weird.
And Hakeem Jeffries his staff has clearly made a concerted effort in the last couple of weeks to make sure that he does media mostly out of a suit. So like now they're putting him in a baseball cap and t-shirts and
Speaking out of the suit, that's why I'm not on camera right now. I've been doing a lot of working out and playing with I have a 13-year-old living with me now, so I'm hot a lot. I got my metabolism's up. I don't have my shirt on right now, so just FYI.
his like
Not
sneakers.
political.
It's just so like I'm casual, every man, like I'm just, you know, your friend. It's very, to your point, try hard. When it's so sudden, it looks just cringe. And it's, again, we talked about this recently, but it's so strange for me because this used to be even like younger Republicans, how they came across. And I'm not saying Republicans are like hip and spry either, because they're not, but it used to not be like this for Democrats. Like it used to be a lot easier for them, especially in the Obama era, to come across as normal human beings, but they're so.
Oh my gosh, if Obama would have taken that to the Green Party, it would be a different world right now. But he took all that to the Democratic Party for a reason, to tame the momentum, to tame the effort, to tame what he had. And I think the politicians knew that the people were ready. The people were ready to step up and do some things. So they got Obama up there, and Obama, like, kind of, what do you call it, like sheepdogged us, circused us, and like just had us dance and then told us to go away. And we weren't done. And Bernie, I think, was a little bit more organic, but then they just, you know, they stopped Bernie at one point and cheated him and this and that, and they did it twice. And I don't know if the second time was quite cheating, but Obama making those calls and doing what he did with Joe Clyburn, that was quite amazing. I didn't know that was possible. I told everybody, I was like, I don't believe it. Bernie's about to win. This is crazy. Like, we're gonna do some things. And then Obama made those calls, and I was like, I had no idea that, like, that was outside. Like, I tend to know a lot when it comes to politics, and I can guess and or kind of predict pretty well. Like, I knew Trump was gonna beat Hillary Clinton, and I kind of thought Joe Biden was gonna beat Trump because of COVID, the way he handled COVID. But I knew Trump was gonna beat Kamala. But I'm pretty good at, and I actually called Bernie Sanders about 5 years before he actually ran for office, and I was telling people, but I wasn't running no YouTube channel or nothing, so I don't have no receipts to back that up. But anyway, I'm pretty good at predicting politics fairly well, and
So they're over.
I got distracted. I got some buzzing in the background now. They're cutting down some trees and stuff. So, talking about like understanding and getting distracted or knowing what you're doing in politics. I'm gonna talk less on the end of the video because I got some stuff in the background. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
So like I'm casual, every man, like I'm just, you know, your friend. It's very, to your point, try hard. When it's so sudden, it looks just cringe. And it's, again, we talked about this recently, but it's so strange for me because this used to be even like younger Republicans, how they came across. And I'm not saying Republicans are like hip and spry either, because they're not, but it used to not be like this for Democrats. Like it used to be a lot easier for them, especially in the Obama era, to come across as normal human beings. But they're overthinking it so much because they're so thrown off by like the youth shift and working class Hispanic voters, some changes in the Black electorate. So it's just hard for them to figure out what they should do, and they haven't landed on anything. So it ends up looking really awkward. And there's no sign of that, you know, there's no sign of the light being at the end of that tunnel at all.
I don't know that they haven't landed on anything. They've landed on corporate first. They've landed on not doing the thing that AOC or Bernie Sanders would want, doing the thing that the 70-year-old man with cancer, I forget his name offhand, or Joe Clyburn, doing the thing that would be closer to Donald Trump. And again, Hillary Clinton helped Donald Trump with her whole Pied Piper strategy become president. She thought she could beat him easily, but she couldn't. She didn't have any forethought. She didn't plan. She didn't do due diligence, right? So she actually gave us Donald Trump. The Democratic Party is the one that boosted Donald Trump.
And some of them, I mean, they're just so many of them are just like old and kind of lost at sea in the world of like the new social media. Like they feel like I should be doing a thing, but I don't really know what that thing is. And so much of
Old and lost at sea. Really? Like, I could almost admit that the Green Party might be kind of old and lost at sea, but we're so small. We're asking young people, everybody, come into our party. If left-wing people, if the people who are in the Democratic Party and are sad and don't want to vote for them but have to vote for them because they're scared, come to our party. Those people who are disenfranchised, who don't vote at all, come to our party. We got you. Like, we have the politics that the people want. You just have, if you're a person and you want your politics to become forefront in American society or whatnot, you have to go to a party. You have to participate in the American experience of politics and everything else, of being this representative democracy that we have right now. You need to go to a party that actually represents you and vote for them and have them be the representative of you in the representative democracy that we do have. And you can run, right? You could be one of the people who run in the Green Party and represent yourself. Now, can you run in the Democratic Party? Yeah, kinda. If you're a people person, if you're a universal healthcare person, are you gonna win? Maybe once, but then they're gonna take you out, but probably not even once, right? So that's the way it works. Like, we got all these people, and even independent. Why not go to where you can build power? Why take your power and hold it to yourself? And then if you win or not, it doesn't spread. Even if you do win, say you do a Bernie Sanders and have a 50-year career as an independent. He kept his power and didn't spread it out to anybody until kind of the end. And then he spread it to the Democratic Party, and they just ate it up and threw it away. Like, if Bernie Sanders' whole career, after he got in, he would have worked with the Green Party, the Green Party would be a different entity. Or DSA, since he's a Democratic Socialist, I'm totally fine with that then too. If he would have worked with the DSA his whole career, imagine how different America could be. We would have universal health care. We would have higher wages. We would have better schools. We would have so much more, better roads. I guarantee, like, you can't prove it, but imagine Bernie Sanders working with the DSA for at least the last 30 years, with the amount of power he had and the amount of people who paid attention to him and the people he got to run in the Democratic Party. Had he started getting these people to run in DSA or Green 30 years ago, strong, we'd be good. But that's why I'm a little bit back and forth on Bernie now, because again, I don't think he thought that he could do it. I don't think he thought that enough people thought the way he did. So I think that he was even surprised. Like, when he was running for president in 2016, he didn't think he could win. I knew he could, but he didn't think he could win. So he ran trying to get, just to be able to be on stage and say some stuff. But he got surprised and then could kind of win. But it was a little bit too late. But actually, he would have won if they didn't cheat him. They're starting to drill again, so I'll stop rambling.
Of this too is like, just stop trying to be something you're not. Like Hakeem Jeffries, you're never going to be a firebrand. You're never going to be that super relatable, cool guy. That's just not who you are. I mean, look, to go back to the Canada block, Mark Carney is like the ultimate.
He's not a firebrand because he has no heart. If you run in the Democratic Party, you have no heart. Maybe the first time or two you run, maybe. But once you understand what the Democratic Party is, especially if you win and you stay in the Democratic Party for 12, 15, 20 years, your soul is different. You're not for the people anymore. You understand the game, and you're running for the corporations, and you're making your money, and you're making your family good. And you might be making the community around you good, like your family, your friends, this and that, like a few other people, right? But it's a small community. You're not helping the entire United States or the entire world.
Technocrat. And he just leans into it. And people are like, okay, that's who he is. You know, I mean, Bernie Sanders, like, he's not out there trying to do a thing. He just is himself. That's it. That's like, stop trying so hard.
Bernie Sanders should definitely be trying to do a thing, and that should be building a third party.
On the other hand, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Chuck Schumer's strategy, just basically like wait around and let the Republicans hang themselves, is kind of panning out. Not only have we covered extensively Trump's numbers at 100 days, obviously they're really bad across the board. Even his best issue of immigration, he's now underwater, especially when you ask about specifics, foreign policy. But most importantly, his economic numbers have fallen off a cliff. And predictably, that is having a major impact on the down ballot races. I think Republicans just basically expect to lose the House at this point. It's almost like a foregone conclusion, given that we're nowhere near out of the woods with regard to the economic pain. Either.
Sorry, hold
Harry Enton just did a piece on economic numbers have fallen off a cliff. And predictably, that is having a major impact on the down ballot races. I think Republicans just basically expect to lose the House at this point. It's almost like a foregone.
Right, so a foregone conclusion that the Republicans lose the House at this point. If the Republicans are so bad, and they're talking about how bad the Democrats are this whole time. And what she's going to do is try to transition this into the Republicans being so bad that you got to vote for the Democrats. If both these parties are this bad, go do something else. Quit doing the same thing over and over, wanting a different result. You are not going to get a different result voting for the party of Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama. Like, they're not going to help you out. Nina Turner tried to change the party. She needs to come green. Was it Cori Bush tried to change the party? She needs to come green. There's been many people, especially like a lot of these independent people. Y'all need to come green, build the power. People like this, like Krystal Ball, sheep herding people, just keeping people in the Democratic Party is terrible. She has the platform, and I bring up TYT now. TYT has been the biggest left-wing or progressive platform for what, 20 years, give or take 2 or 5? I think it's more than 15, but give or take 2 or 3 or something. They could have built the Green Party. They could have built DSA. They could have built a left-wing party. But they built like a left-wing movement, and they built like left-wing excitement and stuff, and they helped other people come up through YouTube, and they built like a left-wing kind of like knowledge base or something, right? But they didn't build an organization or a thing that was useful. Like, it is useful to learn this knowledge and stuff, but it's not, they didn't build up the green where we could get candidates. Like, 15 years later, he started doing this thing where they made Justice Democrats, and they started talking about, oh, let's do party stuff. Way too late and wrong party. Doesn't make any sense. Like, he saw the Tea Party going and take over the Republican Party, so he wanted to do it the Justice Democrats. But you can't take over a right-wing party from the left. You can take it over from the right. Like, guarantee you, if you want to take over the Democratic Party, I guarantee you it would be way easier. Well, it's already happening. You got Stephen A. Smith. You got all these people talking about, oh, we can get with Liz Cheney. We can get these people from the Republican Party to come over. It's going to be a right-wing takeover of the Democratic Party. Krystal Ball, you and Liz Cheney are going to be in the same party. Kyle Kalinske, you and Liz Cheney are going to be in the same party. These people leaving the Republican Party, oh, they're too MAGA. They're still the people who wanted to go to war with all these countries and be far right. Like, you're not helping the left. You're helping the right, you're helping corporations, but you're not a left-wing, you're not a progressive, you are a liberal. And earlier, like how she said, oh, the liberals do this or whatever. It's so weird to me that these hardcore liberals, like, you are such a hard right liberal, and you're going to talk about other liberals? Really?
Conclusion, given that we're nowhere near out of the woods with regard to the economic pain either. Harry Enton just did a piece on the unpopularity of the Republican Party and how it may translate to midterm losses. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
Democrats versus Republicans. We have 3 polls out within the last few weeks. What do they all show? They all show the Democrats up by 2 points in the CNBC poll. The Fox News poll that was out on Friday, look at that, Democrats up by 7. The New York Times poll that was out this Friday as well, but Democrats by 3. And keep in mind, the House...
How in the world can Democrats be up by anything? All the stuff that these ladies have just said about the Democrats, all the fecklessness, all the bad stuff, they're not doing anything, they're just talking and they're weak, but yet the Democrats are up? All right.
GOP won the popular vote back in 2024 by a little less than 3 percentage points. So when you see 3, 7, 2, averaging 4, that is a tremendous shift. That is a shift of 7 points from the November 2024 elections away from the GOP. You look at Trump's net favorable rating. In October of 2024, according to the New York Times, it was minus 9 points. Look at where it is now. Minus 30 points among independents. That's horrific. That's historically awful. Take a look at the generic ballot. In October of 2024, the Democrats were ahead, but only by 3, well within the margin of error. Look at where they are now, up 17 points. There is no way on God's green earth that the Republicans can hold on to the House of Representatives if they lose independence by 17 percentage points. My goodness gracious.
What do you think about that,
Most traders fail because they trade.
I mean, like this is despite Democrats' best efforts, I think, and that's part of this is interesting too. Did you see?
Is it really
Alyssa
the best
Slotkin
efforts? But best efforts for what? Best efforts for the people, or best efforts for their donation people? What do you call it? Money givers.
I think, and that's part of this is interesting too. Did you see Alyssa Slotkin dropping like F-bombs recently? Did you see the stories about that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, The Hill had a whole story yesterday about how Dems are like embracing the F word.
Cursing?
And
oh my gosh.
Like Jasmine Crockett talking all that crap, just wanting to say a bunch of F words and talking shit. Like, don't just talk shit. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Like, if you talk shit, cool. But do something. If you ain't gonna do nothing, then why are you talking? Like, these elected people ain't doing nothing. They're not bringing us food. They're not bringing us wages. They're not bringing us health care. They're not doing nothing. They're all orange man bad. Orange man bad. Sure, orange man totally bad. Whatever. But I'm gonna leave this here. Obviously, or always, I'll leave the link in the description. So if you want to watch the rest of this, go for it. Check it out. But keep looking at it across the spectrum. Thank you.